Okay, I don't even really care for the online documentation on the 3D experience. Sometimes I find it really cumbersome. So what I'm going to suggest is go find this wireframe surface book. It's an online user guide that has all this information. I think it's laid out a lot easier to find once you know how to manipulate it. So again, um, if you open up a browser and you do a search for CATIA online documents, I do CATIA V5 online document and I picked out release 19. It's under the mechanical solution, and it's this one right here called wireframe and surfacing. And if you hit the sitemap, it takes you to this whole book, and you could go page by page and learn all about that. You notice that creating points is one of the first things on the list, and lines, because this is one of the most common things we do: points, lines, axis, and so on. So if I go to point coordinates, or points, you have coordinates, curves, on a curve, on a plane, and so on. So I'll just talk about a few of these. You can go through these and it gives you step by step on how to do on V5, which are the same steps as you do it on 3D Experience. I'll even show you, I'll prove it to you. It says to find this icon and click on it, and then step 2 is to click on the coordinates. Okay, so under the Generative Wireframe workbench, I'll just go ahead and close this off for now. Under this workbench, under the Wireframe tab, you have point. Back on V5, I can show you this here. If I click on this, it takes me to what's called the workbenches, and you go to this tab toolbars, and all of these are workbenches. So if I hit wireframe toolbar, it takes me to the wireframe toolbar. The wireframe toolbar on CATIA 3D Experience is now called the wireframe tab. In the wireframe tab, I have point. I have more options as well, right? But on this one, under wireframe toolbar, I had just these. So like I said, all they did on the 3D Experience is, in some cases, add more features. So if I hit sub points, it shows me this same page that I was on just a minute ago. Okay, and then you could click on any one of these. I clicked on the one that said coordinate. You pick this icon and then you key in your coordinates. So in my case, I'm going to go to pick the first one, point. I'm just going to do 0.000 and say OK, and now I got a point at the 0, 0 origin. And I'm going to go ahead and create 4 points. I'm going to go to point again, and I'll double click it to keep it on. And I'm going to change the Y value to 4 inches. And then as soon as I hit OK or enter, it creates point number 2 at that coordinate. And point number 3 is going to be duplicated if I say OK. So I want to change a coordinate. I'll change the Z to 4. And I hit enter, and now it's up 4, and now point number 3 is at 0, 4, and 4. I'll open up point 4. It's currently the same if I hit OK. What I'll do is I'll change a Y to 0. I'll preview that just so you can see where it's going to land. And that's going to be point number 4. I can select OK. And we'll cancel that. And that's how I created 4 points. And what we'll do is we'll create lines to connect the dots. So next demo will be creating lines.